What's up, familia? Welcome inside the pad. Hope you guys are doing good. Keep in between the lines. Got your load secure. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I was actually gonna hook up the mic and everything of that sort, but then it got just a little too late, and I was gonna be even later. So, oh well, man. What's up, Maxime Barella? Derek, old tunes, crusted joint. What is going on, homeboy? I'm gonna drink of water. So, if you guys want to hear me talk about the fight and you guys are watching this on the archive, jump forward to the 3 minute mark after I came in because there's already 60 seconds in just of music. So it's really going to be the 4 minute mark. All right. But right now, I'm just gonna bloviate just for a little bit, just so a couple people could jump on. But man, you know what? We are here in December. Damn, dog, this year is coming to an end. It's got me thinking pretty damn heavy, going into to 2025, man. What's up, Johnny Garcia? Keep it between the lines, brother. And by the way, I'll be talking about that soon too, man. Um, man, this year is really, coming into 2025. It's got my head spinning with so many damn thoughts, Holmes. It is crazy, dog, that we are entering 2025. It's like I remember like in the 90s, right? You would think of like, I don't know why, but 2025 will come to mind. And it's like, damn, you know what? That's the year where it's gonna be like flying cars. It's gonna be like the Jetsons, you know. But nah, dog, here we are, Holmes. Still rolling on vulcanized rubber, Holmes. You know what I mean? That's right. Rubber side down, man. What's up, Nick Salas? Sends mine back, man. So yeah, I got a lot of thinking to do, man, coming in 2025 of what we're gonna do. So it's getting ready to celebrate Christmas. Got my Christmas tree December 1st. And by the way, if you guys are watching this live, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Christmas here soon in a few days. But let's go ahead. Oh, you guys like that? Let's go ahead and let's get into the fight. So before I do, let me just go ahead and say this. I'm not under contract. I was there. I called the fight. I got no contract, okay, with Mikey. All right. It was just an agreement, a handshake, and that's it. So whatever I say or choose not to say is under my own volition. All right. I'm not under contract. Okay. So I just want to go ahead and just talk a little bit about it. I know it's a little bit old news, as you guys know. That's when I'd like to come in, when it starts becoming a little bit of old news, when everybody's already done talking about it and everything of that nature. That's where I come in. Okay. So, all right. We'll start from the jump. Okay. So, for one, I'll go ahead and tell you guys, I'm not too familiar with either one of the individuals, right? With Conrad or Boxer. But when Mikey asked me to call the fight, I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll go ahead. I'll do it. I've been involved in all three fights of Content Creator Series of Fighting. Shout outs to Chicano Tube, to Mike Diaz for putting it together. I've been involved in all three fights, man. In the first one, I was side commentator alongside Mikey. In the second one, I actually stepped into the ring and fought Buzz. Shout outs to him. And here in the third fight, he wanted me to be lead commentator alongside with my partner, Mark Salinas from Putazos y Pendejadas Boxing, PYP Boxing, from Texas. So the fight, man, I got there the night before. All right. It was quite a few hours of a drive for me to get there, right? So I got there the night before. I didn't meet up with anybody. I didn't check who was there, who was around, anything of that sort. I know Mikey said he was there the night before and he met up with a couple of people of the crew, whatever it may be. I didn't, right? I wasn't even really in contact that much. I knew where it was at. It's like, okay, go. I got there the night before and bam, so be it. Hang on, let me move something here. Spencer. Uh, all right. Um, so I got there the night before. Okay, we're good. All right, so I got there the night before, man. Wake up the next day, pretty much start getting ready to go do this. I showed up. How you doing, Pastor? I showed up to the venue. Um, the first person I saw was Mikey with the security, and that was outside. That was in the parking lot. So I get off the ride, I go, I say, "What's up?" They're talking amongst each other of just, security and stuff. I don't want to interrupt. So I just went, said, "What's up?" to them. I saw they're talking business. Boom. I go inside. Walk inside. Nobody's really there. I do see Conrad. Conrad was there. Mile High Hustle. Okay. He was there. Now, here's the thing about Mile High, man. Okay. um, this was about, man, roughly about an hour and a half to 2 hours before the fight. Okay. Before the fight was taking place. All right. Before anybody asked, no, the fight was not live. I never remember anybody advertising that the fight was going to be live. I, I've actually heard the opposite. I've heard Mikey say, no, it's not live because it will cost like, $10,000, $15,000 more to do it live. So I never heard him advertise that it was going to be live. Nonetheless, the reason why I point out Conrad, by the way, shout outs to him, is because I'm there, right? And we got about 2 hours before his fight. This dude starts warming up. He starts breaking a sweat. He starts stretching. He starts, shadow boxing. He starts jumping around. And I'm looking at him and I'm just thinking in my head, like, I mean, maybe you shouldn't be doing that, like save that energy. But I can't tell him that. I can't tell him that. I'm calling the fight. So I can't give any strategies. I can't give any advice to anybody. All I can say is good luck to you. That is it. That is it, man. I can't tell anybody, hey, man, you know what? Maybe you should start warming up. Hey, you know what? Maybe it's too early to start warming up. Hey, you know what? You got a good reach. Maybe you might. I can't give any strategy. All I can say is, hey, good luck to you. That is it. All right. But yeah, man, this dude was warming up. Conrad, he was warming up pretty much the entire time. The entire time that we were there, he was moving the body, he was breaking a sweat, he was shadow boxing, he was I was starting to get a little bit troubled, man, of like, damn, this vato might burn out a little bit. What's up, party familia? Gracias, brother. Um, and slowly I saw people come in. So Mikey came in, right? He came in with the security crew, and we start chopping it up a little bit. Hey, what's up, and all that good stuff, right? And I start asking them, hey, what's gonna happen? Where am I gonna be? What do you need me to do? Now, for this gym that we were at, all the punching bags were still up. All the punching bags were still up. See, when the fights take place where they usually take place, I know it's not Mikey's gym, but it's the gym that he's associated with. All the punching bags are down, right? But in this case, punching bags were all up. Okay. And it's not that big of a gym, but it made it a little bit tight of space. I don't want to make it seem like everybody's all touching shoulders because we weren't. There was a nice size of space there on the side, right? But for the most part, man, I mean, punching bags were up, and it's like, okay, cool, you're gonna sit right here. This is where the table is gonna be at. All right, cool, freedom it, right? But the fighters had to walk behind us, and when they walked behind us, they had to kind of avoid the punching bags. If you guys see the fight, they had to do that. You would see me and Mark sitting there as they pass us by, is squeezing in between us and the punching bag. So, that was something, man. But what's up, Lito? And I had asked Mikey, like, hey, man, you know what? Are we getting the undercard fights? And yeah, we did. And I'll get to that in a second. So as I'm there, I think to myself, you know what? Let me go ahead and somewhat not interview Conrad, but yeah, I guess you would call it an interview. What I was trying to do was get information, and I was here to do with every fighter, right, that stepped into the ring. Let me get some information. That's why I was there early. Let me get information about the fighters, why they're doing this, what motivated them to do this, things of that nature. So when I'm calling the fight, I have something to talk about instead of just the fight that's going on. I got a little bit of backstory. And by the way, I'm going to get to some deep criticism of this. All right. So you guys just wait, man, till I get there. So, I talked to him. He told me a story and why he's doing it. And, he wants to, be a leader for his family. He's a grandfather. He's raising 3 out of his 6 grandkids. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? And he came across cool, man, the entire time. Right. And, as soon as I was done, interviewing him, guess what he did? He went back to shadow boxing, moving around. And I'm just like, damn, man. Damn, hopefully homeboy doesn't burn out, but well, I can't tell him, what to do or what not to do, man. A few more people show up from the boxing gym, right? You get to meeting to them and things like that. And then I'm over there wondering where the heck's my partner, Mark Salinas from Putazos y Pendejadas, right? Because I'm like, man, where is this dude at, man? Right? Because I'm trying to talk strategy with him because we got a fight to call, Holmes. Right? I want us to do a really good job. And Mark, he lives out in Texas. So it's not like him and I, we live close to each other and we're all buddies like that. I mean, we're buddies, Holmes. Shout outs to him, but we don't really see each other much, right? So next thing you know, right, there's chattering, there's talking going on. And I'm, going through some notes that I got from Conrad. And next thing you know, it got silent. It got quiet. I mean, it got really quiet. All right. I'm looking down at my notes, standing by the table, and it got quiet. And I look up, and it was Boxer. He came in with, I don't know, maybe about 5 heads, maybe a little bit more. All of them wearing facial mask, not like medical masks. Well, basically like the bandanas that you just tie around the bottom of your face. All of them, every single one of them was wearing that like a bandana, right? Like mask style. They come walking in, and I noticed it because, like I said, I was looking down at my notes. I could hear people talking and everything, and then out of nowhere, it just got dead silence, dead quiet silence. And I was like, the heck? That's why I looked up. Like, why did it get so quiet? I looked up, and I saw a Boxer walking in, with like I said, it was like 5 to 8 dudes. I don't really remember, right? We get the introducing. All right, cool. Feed him in. I told him, like, hey, you know what, man? When you get a chance, because Mikey needed him to do a few things. When you get a chance, man, I got to talk to you, right? I want to do the same thing that I did with Conrad and get a little bit of information with him on basically all the same questions. Why are you doing it and all that stuff, right? And he's all like, yeah, cool, So I did that at some point, right? Him and I went to the back and I asked him all the pretty much same questions. And he told me, he just wants to motivate people that are his age to, still do everything that you guys heard me call on the fight, man, right? And all right, cool, feed, man. I saw 2 youngsters that were getting wrapped up. And by the way, Boxer was cool. He was gracious, man. He was polite and everything, just like Conrad. They were both really cool, man. I didn't have any issue with either one of them. Um, I saw two youngsters wrapping up in the corner, and I'm like, that's the co-main event over there. So I go do the same thing with those guys, man. Which I want to give a big shout out to Noah Contreras and Jonathan Armante. Both of those kids got in that ring, and man, did those dudes put on a clinic. Man, okay. I'm going to get to some criticism in a bit. All right. I'm going to get to some criticism, but I'm just giving you guys behind the scenes, everything that I seen and all that stuff that went on. Okay. So, um, so everything was set. Okay, cool. Let's get it going. All right. Let's get the fights going, and let's make this happen. All right, let's make this happen, Homs. Okay. So Mark, my partner, is like the last one to show up. And he's all like, oh man, the time got away from me, and I was a little bit confused at the times and everything like that, right? So I'm like, all right, cool, man. He shows up, we talk, and basically it's almost showtime. We're a few minutes away from showtime to make this happen, right? For the youngsters to get in there and start fighting. So I can't remember what happened first. All right, but let me just go ahead and get to the two youngsters. They got in there, they fought. You could hear those punches. Good gosh, homie, these dudes were slinging them. These two youngsters were putting on a clinic, man. Again, much love. Shout outs to Noah Contreras and Jonathan Armante. Damn, those vatos went in there and they, good gosh, man. You know what? You guys weren't able to see it if you guys paid the fight. I'm not saying you guys weren't able to see the fight. I'm saying you guys weren't able to get the experience of hearing the chingazos. All right. Being there, like you could hear just the dog, you could hear these dudes smacking the heck out of each other. Like, damn, these dudes are going at it. Great fight. Great fight by those two young cats right there. They knew there was their time to shine, and I wanted to give them their respect. That's why I wanted to give them their backstory, who they are, where they're from, anything like that. By the way, gracias. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, carnal. Right back at you, man. But as soon as their fight was done, Noah, he pretty much took off. I don't know if he had to be somewhere or what. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but I got a chance to talk to Jonathan and shake his hand and say, like, damn, dog, thank you for a good fight. That was really fun to watch, man. So now let's go ahead and let's get to the main event, and let's go ahead and get to some criticism as well. Okay. So being there when it was just Mikey and I saw the gloves that they were going to use. It was on the apron of the rings. I'm a little bit of a nerd. I do cover boxing. Shout outs to my boxing channel, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to gloves, to boxing gloves. I'm like, okay, they're the same size, but they're not the same brand. And I remember I pointed that out to Mikey, and he said, yeah, you know what? I wasn't able to get the same brand. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to boxing gloves, but I am. Okay. Originally they were 12-ounce gloves. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what? But they're not the same brand. And I was able to tell that right from the jump, right? And I'm like, all right, they get their hands wrapped. I go over there and I do that interview. If you guys paid for the fight, you guys saw me interviewing while they're getting their hand wrapped, right? And all right, cool. Mark and I got to do an intro, right? So we stand there behind in front of the banner of CCCOF, man, Shasta Content Creator Series of Fighting. And it's like, all right, cool. Now let's move everything. Let's move the table. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Like I said, I don't remember if this was before the two youngsters got in the ring or if it was afterwards. But I kind of caught word that the gloves were not fitting Boxer. Okay, with the hand, they had the hand wraps on, and that the gloves were not fitting Boxer. And I'm like, really? Okay. It's like, yeah. So they're gonna go without hand wraps, they're just going to get wrist support. So that's why when you saw them at the end of the fight with the glove off, you didn't see any hand wrap here. What you saw was the hand wrap on the wrist support going around the thumb, so it wouldn't so they couldn't hurt the wrist. Okay, that's what you saw. You didn't see the hand wrap over the knuckles, right? One thing that I did not catch, and by the way, I wasn't really asking too many questions. Okay, I was just like, okay, let's make this happen. Okay. When I saw them walk to the ring and they got in the ring, I noticed those are not the gloves that were on the apron. Those were not the gloves that Mikey had brought. Where those gloves came from, I don't know. Since then, I have caught word that those gloves were from the gym, from the boxing gym there. Okay, those were 14-ounce gloves. They looked the same. You would be able to tell the gloves that Mikey brought because they didn't look the same. They were red and blue, where these gloves were all four gloves were exactly the same, right? I didn't know that at that time, but I noticed it, and I'm like, okay, but we're already ready to rock and roll, so I'm not gonna bring it up like, hey, what's going on with the gloves, right? I had caught wind that yes, that boxer's hand didn't fit in the gloves, but I was thinking about the 12-ounce gloves that Mikey brought. I didn't know that they went and got gloves from the boxing gym, to the best of my knowledge, that is. Okay, so gym owner 14-ounce glove switch. All right, there it is. Shouts to Mile High Hustle, man. How you doing, Debbie? And everybody else in here, man. I know I'm more here just talking. I'll get to a little bit of Q&A in a little bit. Just want to talk about my experience being there and a little bit behind the scenes, right? So Conrad, makes his way to the ring. Cool, everything. I'm gonna get to some big criticism in a second. All right. I know I keep saying that. I'm getting to it. Conrad comes to the ring. He's the first one there. Boxer, they reshoot it. All right. He makes his way to the ring. I don't know if there was an audio issue of some sort, but it's like, hey, you know what? Boxer, let's do that again. I didn't really see anything wrong with the ring walk, but it's production, right? It's being put together so all the viewers can see it and can see it good, right? So it's like, hey, Boxer, let's do it again, right? I understand it, man. It's production. We gotta make it look as good as we possibly can. So Boxer goes back, which helped me, by the way, because at that time, honestly, I needed to take a liquiazo, Holmes, right? So I popped out of my chair. I ran to the restroom, did what I had to do, ran back. As I'm coming back in, Boxer's walking out, and I just told him again, good luck. As I'm coming back in, Mikey's in the ring with Conrad. He looks at me and he says, Cholo, you good? I'm like, yeah, Holmes. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, So now a Boxer comes in for the second time. There was, like I said, there was nothing wrong with the first one. And I didn't even ask, hey, what was wrong with the first one? So I'm assuming there was some sort of audio issue or something of that sort, right? So Boxer comes in and now it's like, all right, cool. So now the fight takes place, and basically it's everything that you guys saw. All right. I mean, I'm not really going to break the fight down. It's everything that you guys saw. Look, being honest, and I'll call it exactly like I was calling it there. Okay. Conrad won just about every single round, right? I gave it up to Boxer. I gave it up to him in person, saying like, hey man, you know what? You stood there and you took a beating, I mean, much love to you, man, for not quitting. And after the second round, the cameras didn't catch this, but you were able to hear my partner, Mark Salinas, mention that there was blood coming from Boxer's ear. And there was blood coming out of his left ear. After the second round, when he came to the corner, there was blood coming out of his left ear. And that is when I heard the referee, shout outs to Tomas Ramirez, who was refereeing the match, go to his corner and say, hey, you got to show me something. You got to show me something. You get in trouble like that, man. I don't want to stop the fight. Something of that sort. Okay. I'm not saying it verbatim, but something of that sort. And that's what I relayed back into the mic. The fight went the way it went. You guys saw it. If you didn't, it's still up. You guys could go order it and watch it, man. And what I want to get to is some of the criticism. Okay. my criticism. Okay. So let's get to that. What's up to everybody in here, man? I see Spencer. I'm over here just bloviating, man. But I'll get to you guys' chats in a second. So, in order for me to watch the finished product, I had to do what everybody else had to do. I had to pay for the fight. Okay, there's no special link, there's no special code, there's no special promotion or anything. There's no special email that goes out. There's no anything of that sort. I had to pay for it just like anybody else. And I watched it. Okay. And this is constructive criticism. Shout outs to Mikey. Shout outs to Miss Chicana too. She was there as well. I shouldn't have forgot to mention her because she was there and she put in a lot of work. Okay. Here's the constructive criticism that I want to go ahead and put, right? Well, first of all, man, myself, when I saw myself and listened to myself, I was like, damn, dog, like I felt like I could have done a better job, right? Hindsight's 2020. It's like, man, I should have said this instead of that, whatever it may be, okay? But for the product itself, okay, the two fights that took place before this one, the one that I was in with Buzz and the one that I was doing side commentary with Mikey, both of those fights had something in common, and that was with the audio. Okay. The audio was not picking up any sound whatsoever on what was happening in the corners, right? In between rounds. So because of that, in between rounds, I already knew it in my head. Hey, keep talking. Keep talking. Keep telling the story of what's going on in the ring. Okay. Now, Mikey has showed me the cameras that they're going to be using. Shout out to Mr. Chicana too, man. She was kind of squeezing a tight spot, right? Mikey was on one side of the ring. She was on the other side of the ring, right? And using the cameras. Now, maybe they didn't know this. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying, where it can get better, right? I didn't ask. They probably didn't know. Nobody checked. Okay, this is where we can, fix things, all right? Because during in between rounds, you are able to hear the corners talking. And at the same time, you can hear Mark and I speaking as well. Let me see. The corners had a mic. Damn it. Okay. All right. So, all right. That was a little bit again, is it anybody's fault? No. You know what? It's just something to improve, because I'm over there thinking that nobody can hear the corners just like the previous two fights. So let me talk and keep the conversation going with Mark. I'm watching it with my sons, right? I paid for it just like everybody else that watched it. And I'm over there, good gosh, man, we're just talking over each other. We're talking over each other. And I'm getting mad at myself, like, dog, I hope Mark and I kept quiet as much as we could. Because in all reality, look, nobody wants to just it be completely silent, right? You want to hear something going on. And in reality, instead of hearing Mark and I talk, it's a heck of a lot more interesting to hear what's going on in the corners, right? I mean, as a fight, I'm sorry, as a fan of boxing, honestly, hey, you know what, commentators, if they're talking in the corners, I want the commentators to shut up. I want to hear what the coaches, what the trainers are telling the fighters. I want to hear the conversations going back and forth, right? That was something I was unaware of. So if anybody's frustrated with that, like I was, hey, dispensa, like I said, is really nobody's fault. Trial and error, you learn for the next time, right? So that's why you hear, us talking over each other in between rounds, because I'm thinking there's no sound, right? Because there wasn't any sound for the two previous fights. So that's why you guys hear that. And I was just kind of like, damn, man, once I watched the finished product, I'm like, son of a bastard. It would have been much better to have just stayed quiet and just hear what the corners are telling them, right? And that's once the fight was over, it's like, all right, cool. You know what? Both of them, again, very cool, very gracious, man. And I didn't get any bad vibes from anybody that was there. It was not a lot of people. Conrad had a few people there supporting him. Good for him, man. And you know what? He took the victory back to the, back to the land of the Rockies, man, to the box stage. So shout outs to him. And yeah, man, I seeing him move around is basically what I was saying there when I was calling it. His footwork going in and out was basically a big issue for Boxer, right? If Conrad would have just stood still and not moved, and let's just stand here and just bang it out, maybe Boxer would have, stand a better chance. But Conrad, to his credit, he really knew how to move around the ring, man. So yeah, man. Another thing, I did not judge the fight. To the best of my knowledge, Mark Salinas did not judge the fight either. I did not see him. He was sitting right next to me. I didn't see him score anything. I got no idea who judged the fight. Okay. I got no idea who judged the fight. I didn't even ask afterwards. But I mean, it was no disrespect to anybody, but there was a clear winner in the fight, So yeah, with that was it, man. Behind the scenes, the whole glove thing, I didn't realize it till the fight was about to happen when I saw the different gloves, and I'm like, oh, okay. But was there anything, backstage behind the cameras that was all, crazy or anything? No, not really. And if there was, I probably wouldn't come on here and say it. But in reality, no, there wasn't. Mikey worked his tail off. Okay. Mikey worked his nalgas off. Seeing what happens backstage, him run around all over the place, making sure everything is good, making sure everything is right, making sure it's you're seeing him at work. You're seeing him at work. So, the guy put a lot of work into it, man. And I want to congratulate him. Now, let's talk about me, myself, right? Because I think a lot of people are a little bit confused on this. Okay, myself and my partner Mark Salinas from Putazos y Pendejadas Boxing. There's no money in it for us. Okay, there's no paycheck. There was no money that came our way. We didn't get paid for it. All right. He asked me to do it. I wanted to do it. I like calling fights. And I did it. If anything, it costed me money, which is fine. Right? I had to go stay at a hotel. I did out of my own dollar, which is cool. I knew that going in, there's no money for me in it. Or for my partner, Mark Salinas, that, had to jump on an airplane actually to get there. So seeing Mikey, seeing Miss Chicana Tube run around all over the place, making sure everything is set, testing things, retesting things, triple testing. I don't really know what they're doing. Honestly, man, I just sat down. I'm like, hey, is the mic hot? Are we ready to roll? Yeah, the mic's hot. Wait, hang on. Let me see. Let me test it. Let me get, me, I don't know, dog. I'm really not all that savvy with that stuff, right? I didn't really set up anything. I just showed up. All right, cool. We're gonna get you situated over there. You get the mics hot. Everything is good. Fam, you're ready to rock and roll. I don't remember connecting anything. All I did was move one table and somebody helped me with that. That was it. Mikey and Michicana tube, dog, they were running all over the place, getting it ready. And shout outs to them, man. Shout outs to them. I thought it was a good event. And heck, you know what? If Mikey wants me to call it again, we'll call it again. So let's if you guys got any questions, I don't know how far back I'm gonna go, man, but if you guys got any questions, go ahead and ask me. I know I was over there just kind of bloviating for a while. Let me see. Hey, Coach Dalbert, how you doing, sir? Enjoy recap and knowing details preparation. Main job was to keep the story going. Yeah, that was it. And like I said, I don't want to blame anybody on that. It's just trial and error, and that's that. Maybe they didn't know, and I didn't know. Nobody really got together and say, "Hey, let's test drive this first and see how it goes." But for the next time, if Mikey wants me to call the fight, which I'd be happy to, now I know. And Mikey can't forget something or two because there's a lot on his plate, man. You guys don't see it. You guys don't see it. That's why I'm saying I don't care if you like him or dislike him or whatever. The dude, he works at it. He does. He's running around all over the place trying to get it right. Let me see. I should invited to give the post-fight highlights, low light commentary. Is Rascal in here? Oh yeah, there he is. What's going on, Rascal? Let's see. Did a great job calling the fight. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I tried. It was my first time doing lead commentary. And shout out to my partner Mark Salinas that was with me doing it as well. See, I was mad about the same thing because I couldn't hear you guys. Yeah, that's that's pretty much the only criticism. I mean, the camera work, I get it. That one is on each side, but again, it's all trial and error. It's all constructive criticism. I'm sure Mikey knows this, man. There's no way that I'm over there, bashing this at all whatsoever. You know what? It's just only getting better. One thing that I would say for the future as well, hopefully something like this can be implemented as well. Watching the product on TV or your phone or whatever it is, right? Pay-per-view, right? One thing is you don't get the feel because I'm telling you guys, being there, you hear the chingazos. You do. You hear you hear the glove smacking on human flesh, Holmes. You do. And watching it, I was able to put on my TV. Watching it like that, you don't really get that effect to it. You don't really get to hear it much. And that does kind of take away from the experience. At least if you're there, right, and you go and you watch it, it's like, oh man, it takes away from my experience. Maybe it doesn't take away from anybody who wasn't there. It doesn't take away from their experience because they didn't hear the shots. But for me being there, I'm like, man, you could hear these shots, man. It's like, damn, dog, right? But then when you watch it, you don't really hear the shots too much. I'm seeing a little tech bug will work out over time. What's up, Shadow? Be nice if the boxers get a little bit more. I mean, let me go ahead and talk about that a little bit. Let me go ahead and touch on that a little bit, right? Um, I've heard Mikey from Chicano too. I've heard him say these are not boxing matches, and I agree. I agree. They're not boxing matches. When I was promoting this fight on my boxing channel, I had said this. I said, if you guys want to see good boxing skills, watch the co-main event because those guys are actual boxers. Okay. If you just want to see two guys get in there and throw chingazos, then watch the main event. I'm not sure if you can turn a street fighter into a boxer in a matter of months. I'm sure you can get somebody to pick up a little bit. Okay. But it's not gonna look, like there's a boxer or two boxers in there. Okay. It's just that is many, many years of working on your craft. So I like the fact that Mikey never promotes it as a boxing match. He just says, hey, a fight, two guys going in there throwing chingazos. Yes, in the rules of boxing, sure. But he says it himself, and I would say it myself as well. Don't expect a boxing match. Expect guys to go in there and just throw them. Okay, however they can. If a guy gets a little bit of boxing training, cool. But most likely, just in a matter of 2, 3, 4 months, once the dude gets punched in the face, his natural instincts of what he knows is going to come out instead of muscle memory of years of boxing and skills. And I'll go ahead and say this as well, man. I see you guys in the chats. I'll get to it in a second. And I'll go ahead and say this as well. Do you guys want to see a boxing match? Because in reality, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not sure I really do. I'm not sure I really want to watch a boxing match. I'm not sure if I really want to see really crisp, clear, pugilistic skills. I'm not sure I really want to see that. I do kind of like, hey, get in there, train. I would say, yeah, train, take it serious as you're getting in there. I mean, you're preparing your body for war, so yeah, definitely take that part serious. Absolutely. All right. If you're drinking, you might want to put the bottle down, homie. Okay, if you're a smoker, yeah, toss the cigarettes away for a while, whatever it may be, and start squeezing off a couple of push-ups or something, right? Yeah, definitely take that seriously. Okay, but as far as going to a boxing gym and saying, "Turn me into a boxer," and they're gonna take it very slow with you, trying to perfect your craft, and you got to fight in 2 months, 3 months. It's probably not going to work. The best bet is probably to go and say, like, hey, you know what? I got a boxing match or a fight in boxing rules, in 2, 3 months, man. So, I don't need you to turn me into a boxer, but just, teach me how to throw a punch or two or move around the ring or, a couple of things and see if the trainer says, like, okay, well, let me see what you got. Maybe you already have a good jab. Maybe so. And if you already have a good jab, let's just work on the jab. Let's just keep that going, whatever it is. But to say, like, okay, I'm going to build you from the bottom up as a boxer in 2, 3 months, it ain't going to happen, So, and like I said, I'm not even really sure I really want to see guys get in there and box. It's like, no, let's get in there and throw hands. So let's handle it. But yeah, definitely take it serious to the sense where you're going in there, and if it gets rough in there, man. It gets rough in there. Let me see. You take what he does best, stress defense, and build stamina, and cross your fingers. And that's coming from Coach Dauber right there. That's hey, gracias. Hey, Coach Dalbert, I couldn't have done it without you, brother. Couldn't have done it without you. Let me see. I know you train. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, for that, sure, absolutely. Shadow, absolutely. But I don't want dudes to go in there and start trying to look like boxers and trying to be boxers. It's like, well, now you're going to be something that you're not, and that their muscle memory is not there. And once, like I said, once you get punched in the face, your natural instincts come in of what you're used to. Boxers, I think they took as serious as they could, respectfully. Okay, all right. I'll pay $30 for the BS. Yeah, whoever did. Let me see. Comrade really did intense training. Yes, he did, man. Yes, he did. So yeah, definitely take it serious to that point. But if I wouldn't recommend anybody to say like, okay, I now need to become a boxer, like building myself up. It's not gonna happen. That's gonna take years, and not only years, but it's gonna take multiple fights for that to be built in you. So let's see. I boxed for 10 years at Albertsons. Oh man. So yeah, man. Just to touch on that just a little bit more. I mean, look, um, nobody is guaranteed, you know, um, anything spectacular. All right. I thought it was good. I thought it was well done for what it was. I thought it was fine. Obviously, you get, the haters or people that want to criticize it so much, but nothing is guaranteed. You go to the movies, you pay for a movie, the movie sucks. That's it, right? You pay for a boxing match. Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. was the first fight to be $100 pay-per-view. That fight sucked. That fight was horrible. And it was one of the most built-up fights in boxing history. It was probably the biggest fight in our generation. First pay-per-view to be $100. And that fight was horrible. All right. So for those that really truly didn't like it, all right. I thought it was good for what it was. They went in there. All I care about, check this out. This is all I care about. Me, myself, personally, right? And I've been in there too. And the good gosh, you can't stop the criticizing from coming, okay? Criticizing and the bashing and the hating comes from all over the place. You're this, you're that, you can't do this, you can't do that. This is stupid. This good gosh, so I know what it's like. Okay. I know what that's like. And I don't want that to be drowned out, man, for these guys that go in there and do it. Whether you like them, whether you don't like them, whatever you think of them, hey, man, I say it. I respect anybody that goes in there and does it, okay? But this is all I truly care about. Do you go in there and give it everything you got? That is it. You never hear me criticize on the mic calling. You never hear me criticize anybody's style. Oh, this person's fighting this. I never do that. As long as you're giving it everything you got, that is all I care about. Okay, I've been in there. People come at you like a freaking tidal wave of how much you're horrible, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you can't fight, you can't do this, you're, oh man, whatever it may be, Holmes. Okay. All I care about is, do you give it everything you got? As great as it looks, as bad as it looks, is it everything you got? If you gave it everything you got and left it all in the ring, you're a winner to me. You're a champ. That's it. Don't worry about what anybody else is saying. All right, that just comes with the territory. Believe me, I know that comes with the territory, Holmes. All right, I still, till this day, till this, not so much, but till this day, every now and then, I still do get a little bit of backlash for the gunner fight, and I already had another fight after that, but still, that still comes. So it just comes with the territory, you know. All I care about is just going in there and giving it your all. If that's what you're doing, then that's it, man. That's it. You know, that's all you really need to put out there for anybody who steps in there. Hey, man, did you give it your all? Did you try? Did you left it on the ring? Beat it, man. You're a champ. That's it. Let's see here. Man, I don't even know where I left off, Holmes. But let's see. I did good. Not boxer. Okay. All right. Did badass job, mile high footwork. And I think that, honestly, man, I think that right there is what really won the fight. The fact that he was able to move around the ring. Okay. And you guys heard me calling it on the mic. I think the footwork is bothering boxer. Conrad gets in, throws some chingazos. He gets out, moves around the ring. He didn't run. He fought, but he used his feet. Let's see. Take it all. Takes a lot of balls. Boxer. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. And that's it, man. That's it. You just get in there and you give it everything you got. That's all I care about. And you know, don't need to get back in. Oh man. Stop the cap. I'm not sure, man. Yeah, at least you weren't talking a good one. Well, yeah, that's also, you know. Let me go ahead and say this before I wrap it up, okay? When's the last time you were in a fight? If it was many years ago, that's probably not what you have today. All right? Keep that in mind. For all you guys that are, you know, above 35 years old, and you know, you had 100 fights when you were a teenager and in your 20s, but now you haven't fought in 10 years or 15 years. You actually haven't gotten an actual fight. Maybe you socked some dude and that was it, right? But you haven't been in a fight though. That's probably not who you are anymore. All right. I came to realize that myself. So understand that. Understand that that's, yeah, man, maybe you were knocking. I'm just speaking in general here, right? Because a lot of us had lived a certain life, right? Getting into fist fights and everything. And maybe you were a badass, homie, from your teenage years and, your 20s and getting into this madre and knocking dudes out and socking fools up and everything of that sort. And Vince, you're right about that. Vince, you're definitely right about that, right? Maybe you were all that in a bag of chips. Fast forward, now you're 45 and you have not gotten into a street fight or any type of fight for 15 years, but in your mind, you're like, you know, shoot, last time I got in a fight, you know what? I was 30 years old, darn, I knocked this dude out, man. We went out, we were slinging him, and I handled homeboy, man. Yeah, but that was 15 years ago, God, man. You know, you got to understand, man, you know, Father Time is undefeated, and what you remember yourself doing, thinking that you still got that, right? Uh, you probably don't have it the way you thought you had it, you know. So for me personally, like I said, man, all I care about is just get in there, give it everything you got. That's it, you know. Um, and that's basically just where I'll leave it, man. So let me see facts. I got in a fight a few months ago. The next day, really felt it. Yeah, what the heck you doing getting in fights, Holmes? Come on, man. I was critic about the antics after the fight, not what happened in the ring. That's not for me to comment on. You know, I'll leave that alone. That's Mikey's business. Like I said, I'm not under contract. Um, but that's Mikey's business to deal with, man. And I just want to come on here. Hey, what's going on? Being Loke. Shouts to the Lokester right there, man. I can hardly walk. I have trouble with activity 10 years old. Yeah, so you know what? That's Mikey's issue to deal with, man. Unfortunate, you know, it's unfortunate. I started hearing some things, some rumors and stuff, but it's unfortunate. But nonetheless, man, you get in there, you give it everything you got, boom, there you go. For anybody talking about like, hey man, some of this matchmaking is horrible, some of this matchmaking is tough. You guys understand, man. Okay, Mikey has a really, really tough job ahead of him. It's not just, hey man, would you fight this guy? Yeah, okay, now the fight's gonna happen. No, man, both parties have to agree. Both parties have to agree, and they have to agree to a certain date. A lot of things gotta line up right for one fight to happen. Okay, that is it. And I say that is it like it's easy, but it's not. A lot of things got to line up perfectly for one fight to happen. So, you know, good luck to Mikey making some of these fights. I know it's tough for him, and he definitely works hard behind the scenes, man. A lot of things that you guys don't see. When I'm there, I see him working behind the scenes. He's working pretty damn hard, and Miss Chicana Tuba as well. So, you see, some dumb was tripping on my swag that. All right, man. All right. I'm gonna call it with that. Trucker, do you listen to not oldies but soldies all the time? Philip, all the time, man. I love the soldies, man. I love the soldies. Ah, damn it, over a parking spot. Yeah, man. All right. All right. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. What kind of shirt is that? It was a gift, but I'm not even really sure, man. But anyway, hey man, just want to come on here, talk a little bit about the fight. I know it's a little bit old news already, but that's when I'd like to talk about it. When it's old news and nobody else is talking about it, that's when I'd like to come in and talk about it, man. Because well, for multiple reasons, but one of the reasons everybody's emotions are high, and I ain't trying to deal with all that stuff, man. But with that, hey, you guys have a great weekend. You guys are catching this on the archives. Have a great day. I'm gonna tap a body here, and hopefully this content creator series of fighting can keep going. You know, lastly, let me just go ahead and point this out before I completely wrap it up. All right. Lastly, I just want to go and say this: all three fight, or you know what, even including the fight with Gunner and I, that was not part of content creator series of fighting. Okay, so there's been 4 fights, right? 3 of them are content creator series of fighting, and then the fight with Gunner and I. So all 4 fights have gone down are with guys that didn't even, have beef with one another, right? I mean, I don't have YouTube beef with anybody, but if anybody has anything bad to say about me on YouTube, I'm not coming back and saying anything. Let's keep it going. But um, I remember Mikey telling me, like, hey man, I started this so these guys, they could settle their beefs and everything like that. Yet every fight that's happened, nobody has really had beef. I didn't have any beef with Buzz. I didn't even really know who he was, man. And I'm not even really sure he knew who I was. So I want to give credit to the guys that are stepping in there, because they're stepping in there just to do it. They're actually not even stepping in there to handle some sort of beef or some sort of drama, or you know what, I'm gonna set this vato straight, dog, because this vato said this about me, or anything of that sort. All the fights, if you include the one Gunner and I, that's 4 fights. All the fights, it hasn't involved any type of beefs whatsoever. So I do give credit. Whoever you like, whoever you dislike, I don't really care, but I do give credit because guys are doing it just to get in there and do it. There's really no beef that anybody's handling. So you know what? Hey man, saludos, man, and saludos to them, man. That's doing that, because nobody's handling any beefs. They're just, hey, you know what? I just want to go in there and live this somewhat dream, kind of, right? You get your entrance music. It's like your Rocky moment. You know what I mean? It's like your Rocky moment. Yeah, you may be a little bit older, for damn sure you ain't no Rocky. But you know what? The little kid in you, the 2 fights that I had, it was like the little kid in me that got to do something that I never did. Because I was living my life doing stupid stuff, wasting my life when I could have been doing other things, right? So I got to live a little bit of a little kid dream, man. And for that moment, for that small moment, I was like Rocky, Apollo, whatever, man. Anybody could think that's stupid, that's dumb. I don't care. But at least for me, got to have that little moment, man. And you throw chingazos while doing it. So, yeah, man. But with that, I'll leave you guys right there, man. Hey, you guys have a great weekend. Like I said, if you guys are watching this on the archives, have a great day. As always, live your life like you're on the road. Be aware of surroundings. Always keep safe distance. Blood makes you related. But loyalty makes family. Until next time, this is Thecholotrucker. Over and out.